Hello, this is Basant Maheshwari from Western Sydney University. I would like to talk about MAVI project, which is the role of citizen science in achieving India's future water security. So if we look at the water situation, irrigated agriculture consumes about 20% of the total cultivated land worldwide, and it contributes 40% of the food produced. And what is happening is land use changes are happening due to urbanization, and this has affected the vegetation, groundwater recharge, and river flows. The whole hydrologic cycle is disturbed now. And what we used to do, hydrologic modeling, is now under question whether we can predict the future based on historical data. And groundwater is going to be very critical and important in terms of producing food and supplying drinking water and many other uses. So coming to India, about 60% of irrigated agriculture and 80% drinking water in rural areas, and more than 50% of drinking water in urban areas, and 50% or more of industry water comes from groundwater. And the Green Revolution of 1970s, which helped to secure food, but it affected water security. And pumps and drilling technology really changed the groundwater sustainability, although they helped, but also they affected groundwater's futures. And people are migrating from rural areas to urban areas because the groundwater is becoming scarce, monsoon is not very reliable, and so there are no sort of livelihood opportunities in villages. So what options do we have for achieving water security? Water literacy at all levels. So we really need to strengthen water literacy and to understand the importance of water and how we can manage and how we can conserve and recycle, engage people and develop water science for people. So we really need the science that people can understand and apply. And use of water where it falls and try to live with what we have. That's very important. And really, that will be the future. And the idea of catch the rain where it falls and when it falls, but leave some for the environment. So we really need to manage what we get and how we use it. So coming to what options do we have for achieving water security and food security? Wastewater reuse is an option. Groundwater recharge and its use through cooperative management is another option. The time has also come to give the ownership of water management to people. Governments can help facilitate, but really cannot do this effectively on its own. And we also need translational research. So what we research, what we find, can we translate into something useful, something community, farmers, or other people can use. And there is a role of Internet of Things, smartphone apps, and so on to manage water better. So why do we have the groundwater problem? One is the greed. Everybody wants it, but no one cares for it. And that has really created a problem. Limited knowledge, how groundwater flows, how much groundwater we have, how we can withdraw. All these are questions, and they really affect how we use groundwater. Lack of understanding what we are doing. This is also a problem. So there is a limited understanding of where groundwater is flowing, how much groundwater we have, and all those things. So it is a people-related problem. And what this means is we need people-friendly technical, social, and policy solutions. We need to involve people, and for this we need citizen science approach. Solution to groundwater problems. Some people suggest to control the groundwater use by enacting some law and criminalize if someone breaks the law. Some people have come up with technical solutions, such as have a pump that operates when you insert a smart card and allow you to pump out the allocated amount and stops when you have reached your limit. So it works fine in principle, but are these solutions workable in reality, and are they going to be sustainable? What kind of technology and technical solution will work? This is something we need to really think and also consider the ground situation. The MARVI project, so MARVI stands for Managing Aquifer Recharge and Sustaining Groundwater Use Through Village Level Intervention. So the word village is very important, and it's managing and sustaining. And so this project started in 2012, and it is still running. And basically it involves three aspects: participatory data collection, sharing information and building understanding, and engaging with policymakers, government agencies, groundwater users, and other stakeholders. So we had 9 organizations involved, 30 researchers, and 35 farmer researchers. We call them Bhujal Jankar or BJs. So Bhujal Jankar means, Bhujal means groundwater, and Jankar means informed. So the MARVI approach. So generally, there are researchers dealing with science of the groundwater. There is government dealing with policy, regulation, governance, all those things, and the community in between, which tries to do some things, but really not connected with science so much. And also government also, the connection is not very strong. So what this MARVI project tried to do is bring these three together and really connect them to have action on the ground. So who were the actors in MARVI? So the researchers, like some of us, and the Bhujal Jankars or BJs, they are the volunteers, and the schools and communities, village communities. We also involve Gram Panchayat, that is village councils, state and central government agencies. How do we use citizen science in the MARVI project? So we train these BJs and work with them on ongoing basis. Collected groundwater depth, rainfall data, water quality, check dam water level, and socioeconomic data. Worked with local schools and community groups, worked with Gram Panchayat and state government agencies, developed tools and resources for data collection, analysis, and capacity building, and connected with policymakers at state and central government level at different times of the project. So basically, involving the villagers to become citizen scientists, to work on collecting data, to create their own interpretation and use that interpretation, meaning, or learning in their way of managing groundwater. So the citizen scientists, the Bhujal Jankar, so we engaged local volunteers, 25 of them in Rajasthan, 10 in Gujarat. We provided basic hydrogeologic concepts, mapping, water table, water quality measurements, and other things. And that took up to 8 to 9 months or a year. And eventually they become local champions And there were really good interface between the research team and community. And they really felt empowered and valued, because these are the people who had primary education, school education, or middle school, and left school a long time ago. But what this Marvi project tried to do is really train them and really build their confidence, because they have life skills, but what they needed was the confidence building, capacity building, to understand and make sense of what they are experiencing in terms of groundwater management. That we are solving the problem that was created by people, and any good solution needs to involve them. Any use of technology should work with people, not remove them from the scene and alienate them. Because when people work with the problem, they monitor something, they measure something, they internalize, and they change that changes their thinking, their attitude, and they get into action. Also, technology can be used for training and capacity building. So for example, e-learning through short videos, online platform for specific self-paced learning, all those things can be possible even with the farmers. So what are the take-home messages? Complex problem like groundwater management often requires simple solution. And so this is very much true for groundwater management. The citizen science approach developed in Marvi can empower local community and can help develop their own groundwater management dialogue and strategies. Communication about what is happening, what can be done, and how it can be done is the key, with a common pool resource and invisible resource like groundwater. So we need to develop and simplify groundwater science that can be used by farmers and other community members and can be implemented by government agencies. The BJs can collect highly reliable information for groundwater levels, rainfall, and recharge estimation with simple technology, and also very cost effective. BJ collected data can be used for communicating village scale groundwater balance analysis and modeling. This is what we have done. And even we use the BJ's data to publish in international journals. Villages can find their own solutions if they are supported and nurtured. We have a number of publications and available for download from the Marvi website. Thank you.